neighborhood that I grew up in, very rough, very tough, and dangerous neighborhood. But as I listened and watched Muhammad Ali, and he talked about how he fought his way out of the ghetto. So my thing was, if Muhammad Ali could do it, I could do it.
But a lot of boxers had a bad upbringing or poor upbringing or whatever happened, I don't know, and they got into boxing, and it helped a lot of them out. To get kids out of the street and teach them something besides fighting in the street, getting into drugs.
What do you do with these kids that are just turned away? Oh, you can't play football because your grades aren't good. We bring them in and we try to change them around with their school and with everything else.
It gave you a sense of belonging, and then everybody got to being like family.
And we would hang out together, eat together, be invited over to Eddie Bridges' house, and we all grew very close.
We even basically kept each other out of trouble because we knew that we were boxing royalty. And anything that we did affected the whole community. I mean, it got to the point that even if somebody did something wrong, it would hurt Jack Moss, the editor for the Kalamazoo Gazette. And he would come down to the gym and give a guy a talk that you cannot be doing this. Don't break the law, don't commit any crimes. You're hurting me.
Boxing has really brought Kalamazoo alive with a lot of enthusiasm, and we do have an opportunity for a lot of young kids, maybe not becoming the champion in the ring, but a champion outside the ring.
You're changing into another person. I took that time to help those that had problems with bullies. Now I can protect somebody.
It builds confidence for some kids that may not have ever had confidence. They're timid, they come into the gym, they start building relationships, and it's a sense of accomplishment. It's a sense that, hey, I can do this.
Got in a little trouble when I was young, and I went down to the KBA and I met Eddie Bridges, and he took me in like a son, taught me how to box, taught me how to be a better person, taught me how to be a good student. Just made me feel so good.
I'm the first one graduated high school. Mama didn't go no more into third or fourth grade. He would always come get me, encourage me, do my homework, everything. He was just like a father to me.
He just took care of you. He made sure you ate right. He'd ask you, like, what are you doing? What he wanted an answer was that you're not out drinking, carousing, you're doing the right things, not only in training, but in life.
Boy, I used to be a bad little kid, because there's times I had trouble in school. I had trouble with the police. Henry Grooms came in there and helped me. He would take me out to the stores, buy me clothes, and bought my groceries for me. He did all those things for me. My father, he wasn't really there for me, but Henry was always there for me.
Individuals were sent over for me to talk to who were going to and talked about doing harm to themselves. I stay there after hours and they would come and work out. Then we'd sit and talk for an hour. All of those four never hurt themselves.
A lot of young ladies and young men that I came up with, they never seen the age 18. There was a church called King Solomon. They had a gym in the basement. Robert Mitchell came over to me and he talked to me for a minute. He said, "You would like to learn how to box?" I said, "Yes, sir." So he put me up under his wing and we went from amateur. He came to me one day and he said, "Son, I'm gonna take you up to Kalamazoo and turn you pro." Changed my life. This man changed my life.
The biggest part was when I met Greg Cupperson. He took me from that day till I got there.
I can tell everybody in the world that, hey, I'll train Floyd Mayweather Sr., and that's my boy, no matter what.
It gave me courage that I never knew I had.
All these kids, and it goes from there into their families and into the neighborhoods. When you see people doing things right in front of you, winning state championships, being in the newspaper, that does something to that person and to people that care for them and are around them. And that spreads out through our communities, man. You know, it just changes your perspective of life when you're good at something and you know you're good at something.